All right, here with the latest. Insider Advantage Chairman Matt Towery, Chief Pollster at the Trafalgar Group, Robert Cahaly. Let me praise both of you. Both of you showed up as two of the top pollsters in America. I noticed on Real Clear Politics. Congratulations to both of you.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. A lot of people were involved in that over the years, so I'm certainly happy.
Well, you better be right
Robert
then on
too.
Tuesday.
Very proud of Robert.
Because if you're not, you're going to be. They might take it back. Polling is a hard thing to do. Let's look at the Senate and Robert Cahaly. We're going to go through real quick, both of you. We'll start with Georgia. Robert, who's going to win Georgia in the Senate?
Herschel.
Matt?
I think it could be a runoff, but I think Walker's the favorite either way.
Okay, let's go to North Carolina. Ted Budd. Matt?
Budd.
What do you think, Robert?
Budd, not even close.
Let's go to Bolduc in New Hampshire. Robert?
Barely, but Bolduc.
What do you think, Matt?
Toss up right now. I don't have an answer, but the momentum is with Bolduc.
Okay, let's look at Pennsylvania and Oz. Matt Towery, who's going to win that race?
Well, based on the polling, Oz should win, but Pennsylvania is a weird place in terms of how they count their ballots and the like, so I'm going to have to hold my breath and say it's a toss-up.
Wow. Thoughts, Robert? What do you think?
I think Oz gets the most votes.
Oh, boy, that is a loaded term you just...
That's what Robert says every time.
Yeah, that's a loaded term you just threw out there. In the end, do you think Oz wins this? Robert?
I think whether he wins is, like Matt said, it's a toss-up.
All right, let's look at J.D. Vance in Ohio. Thoughts, Robert?
Vance, not close.
Okay, Matt?
Yeah, same. I agree.
Ron Johnson in Wisconsin. Matt?
Yeah, he's got it.
What do you think, Robert?
I think he wins, but because he's an incumbent, he might be a little under what the polling says.
Okay, let's look at Laxalt in Nevada. Matt?
That one, I believe, is going to be one of the two seats that will probably cause Republicans to secure the Senate. I think he wins.
Okay, Robert, you agree?
Definitely.
And what do you think about Arizona, Blake Masters? Robert?
I feel like Masters, with the Libertarian getting out, I think he's got a real advantage now, and he'll close the gap. So I think he wins it, but by a hair.
What do you think, Matt?
I basically agree. I think Kari Lake is running so strong that that's going to help push him over the edge.
Let's look at three gubernatorial races. New York, Michigan with Tudor Dixon, Lee Zeldin in New York, and Kari Lake in Arizona. Who wins those three races? Matt Towery.
Well, Kari Lake is going to win in Arizona based on the polling we've been doing for the Fox affiliate there. Michigan's going to be an absolute tight race to the end. And I'm not even going to talk about New York because Robert is the man who discovered there was a close race there in the first place. So I'll toss that to him.
All right, you're punting on that one. I love how you guys punt back and forth. Robert, what's your take on the three?
Well, first of all, I think Kari Lake is the new superstar of the Republican Party, and I think she's going to win, and she's going to impress people by how well she wins. I think Michigan is a toss-up, and it's more about what the turnout for opposition to ballot initiative 3 does. That is going to drive that race more than any other factor. And New York, I think it is very, very close, but it really could go either way. And it's going to be about crime, but it's just a matter of, it's going to be a toss-up.
All right. Thank you both, and congratulations also to both of you. The highest rankings on Real Clear Politics in terms of pollsters in America. We appreciate you being with us. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.